First of all, I think the Aztec fans travel. I mean, what a great turnout for us today, and if history is any indicator, we'll have double that for tomorrow's game, and they're important to our success. And we want to thank them for traveling and supporting their Aztecs. I think the biggest improvement in our team, and I think we saw it again tonight, is we're better defensively. We're harder to score on. We look like Aztec teams of old, where we can struggle through an offensive period or two because our defense is so strong. And that has kind of spearheaded our 7-game streak right now, and we have to continue to defend if we want to advance in this tournament. I will say defending the three was a big part of this game. I think they only had 3 threes. We only had 3 threes. It was old-fashioned basketball. It was kind of slug it out, nothing easy, 2 opponents that really knew each other well and both played well. And we just happened to hit a spurt where we were able to create enough distance to come away with a victory. I'm so proud of both my seniors sitting here with me. When I took this job, I told them I could think of two better seniors that I want by my side than these 2 with me, Malik and Trey. And I told them that back when I was named many months ago, and they've been the key to everything for us. And for me as a head coach, to be able to rely on them on the floor over this last season. And I just want to tell them how appreciative I am of them for being up here with me, along with my young freshman, Matt Mitchell, who he's learning from the seniors, I hope. So with that, I will take any questions.
Let's open up for questions for the student athletes only, and then we'll come back to Coach.
Trey, they had a stretch there where they didn't score. They didn't have a basket for 6 minutes. They had 5 straight turnovers. Do you have a sense, what's that like on defense when you're just getting stop after stop? I mean, can you sense their frustration, and does it also energize you to get those stops?
A little bit. I feel like the main thing that you feel is the offense kind of starts to press. And with them, I felt like they try to, during those times, they just try to give it to one of their better players and just go one-on-one. And that's something we worked a lot on, where we don't allow anyone to go one-on-one against us. It's a team effort. So they made some tough shots, but at the same time, I feel like we did a good job of playing one-on-one defense, but at the same time having that help side ready and making plays.
I know why Matt's up here. Took 2 charges. Talk about the taking charges, and you know, Tim Shelton is sort of the master of that. And how you know, what did you see on those plays, and how important is that to you?
I just saw an opportunity to take a sacrifice for the team and really just create more opportunities offensively, and less for them for us on the defensive end. So really, it's just an opportunity to sacrifice my body for the team and help out in any way that I can. So
I had that on the board defensively. Who's going to take the first charge? I asked that question in the locker room, and I had 4 or 5 guys raise their hand. So we're not as the shot blocking teams we've been in the past, but we have to stop the ball somehow in the paint, and we've done a good job over the last 2 or 3 weeks of sacrificing our bodies and throwing them out there and taking charges to let teams know that it's not a free path to the rim whenever they want.
Go ahead.
Malik, it seemed like you got the ball early a lot. They weren't doubling a lot. Was that part of the game plan to establish that inside game with you?
From the early get-go, yeah. Just to put a little pressure on the defense, you know, see how they react, and luckily I was able to make good plays, you know.
Both Trey and Malik do the right things. If they draw a double team, they move the ball. If they play one-on-one, they're both capable of scoring. So there's great comfort as a coach to put the ball in their hands and know the right thing is going to happen.
One more for Trey. This is your 11th straight win in a quarterfinal in the Mountain West tournament. Were you aware of that you had that streak, and why is this team so good in these games?
I had no clue about that streak. I just feel like we lock in really well in that first game, and we don't take any game for granted, no matter who the opponent is. And tonight we played a really good Fresno team, and I felt like there was some added motivation knowing we haven't beat them yet this year, and especially the last time we played them, the way we lost. So I think we just, like I said, we don't take anything for granted.
San Diego State's has been known for how great they played defensively the last several seasons. This season you started off and you didn't seem to have that defensive prowess. What is it that turned on in the second half of the conference season that you guys have really started showing up defensively?
I think the two main things, we've been anchored by shot blockers for a lot of years. We had Skylar Spencer, who was the all-time shot block leader in this conference. We had Angelo Chol. We had Valentine and Zundu last year to block a lot of shots, and we didn't have a shot blocker. And so we moved Malik into the post this year. He's usually played stretch 4 out on the perimeter. And so it took him a while to provide the kind of help that he needed to provide. Ball screen help, helping up early, baseline drive, shutting that down. And so as Malik has continued to grow his game defensively, we've gotten better. And added to that, we didn't take a lot of charges early. And so we've made an emphasis that if we're not going to block shots, we have to take charges. And I think over this last win streak, we've taken quite a few. We had a few we tried to take today that were blocks, but at least we're thinking that way. We're throwing our bodies out there and trying to protect that paint area, and we've done a lot better job of that over the last 7 games.
What was your sort of take from the sidelines watching that stretch where they didn't score a basket for 6 minutes and they just kept turning the ball over?
It's like anything. It's when you slide behind a little bit, you have a tendency to press, and that's us. That's any team in the country. You keep looking at the clock and seeing you're just a tad behind, and they have really good players. So they tried to press their game a little bit, which they should have done. And they just had a couple that wouldn't go in for them. They got quality looks that didn't go in, and to our credit, we didn't give them a lot of second shots. I thought we did a pretty good job on the glass in the second half where they got one good look or they might have turned it over, and we held them to one shot pretty much every possession down the stretch.
So you get Nevada now. How hard is it to have to beat a team that good, a ranked team, that quality, twice in, I guess this will be 6 days?
They're a fantastic team. We can all see that, what they've done with their body of work this year, and it's going to be a real challenge. But having just played them less than a week ago, the game prep is pretty much the same for both teams, I'd imagine. There'll be a tweak here or there, but in playing in 24 hours, there's not a lot each team's going to do. We are who we are. So we'll come out, try to defend them at a high level, and limit their three-point looks like we did tonight, and then hopefully do a little better job on Caroline. He was sensational against us the last game. I think he had 29 and was a dominant player in the game. So the Martins are good. Caroline's good. Steven shoots the ball. So they've got a lot of talent. They're a little short-handed without Lindsey Drew, but what they have is good enough to win this tournament, and what we have is good enough. So I think it's going to be a real battle tomorrow.